Day number 8 of Chicago Bears training camp is in the books, and we have a lot to talk about. What's up, guys? I'm back with the Chicago Bears daily training camp update videos where I'll be giving you guys daily training camp news on what's going on at Bears training camp, giving you guys updates on injuries, who's looking good, who's not looking so good, the quarterback battle, who's looking better between Justin Fields and Andy Dalton. If you want all that news every single day, be sure to subscribe to this channel. But in today's video, guys, I'll be covering day 8 of training camp, which was today, August 6th, which I actually went to because of some really nice people that gave me free tickets. So very thankful for those tickets. I had a blast today again at practice, saw some very good football, met some pretty good people, met some of you guys as well, which I love to take pictures with you guys. Okay, you guys are awesome. So had a blast meeting with you guys as well, and it was a fun day overall. But let's talk about what happened on the football field, which there is a lot to talk about. Okay, so just getting into it, I guess. On my first story that I have, one of the biggest things that happened today was second-year cornerback Kindle Vildor had a phenomenal day of practice. Okay, out of all the people on the defense, I feel like he flashed the most today to me because of two very big plays that he made. Okay, so the first play was he laid a very big hit on Marquise Goodwin. He was on the outside. Both of them were on the outside. Marquise Goodwin was going up the field and he was going up to make a catch, but Kindle Vildor went up there and just completely knocked the hell out of him and smacked him to the ground. Okay, and in hindsight, that was probably too big of a hit because you probably don't want to hit your teammates that hard. So maybe tone it down a little bit in future practices. But I really do love to see that physicality from Kindle Vildor, okay, because he went up there and knocked the ball out, from a play that should have probably been a completion. So going up there, getting that ball out, phenomenal play by Vildor. And then also he had another pass again a couple plays later where, again, on a pass to Marquise Goodwin, he went up there and knocked the ball out, and it was a forced incompletion. So seeing all these plays out of Kindle Vildor, man, it really makes me think that he could be our number 2 corner on the outside this year. Okay, obviously the other opponents that he has in this race are probably Trey Roberson, the guy from CFL who hasn't really done that much in camp this year. Also Desmond Trufant, who has had his share of difficulties this year in camp. And who else? Like Artie Burns, maybe, who didn't play all of last year due to like a torn ACL. So as of now, guys, if you ask me, Kindle Vildor is definitely the favorite to win this second outside corner spot because all year in camp, guys, he's looked pretty damn good. Okay, he looks fast out there. He looks very athletic. He's been very physical all the time, maybe even too physical sometimes. So seeing all the plays that he made in camp today and just what he did previously as well, I really think he's going to win the number 2 outside spot. So great day by Vildor. Next, I want to talk about both of the quarterbacks. How did the quarterbacks look today? And the answer, guys, is both of them looked phenomenal yet again, which I'm kind of getting tired of saying at this point because I feel like my last 5 videos have been talking about how great both the quarterbacks have been, but that's the truth, guys. Okay, I'm not going to hide the truth from you. Both Andy Dalton and Justin Fields, they had very good days, especially with their deep accuracy. Okay, that's one thing also. Like both quarterbacks, they had phenomenal deep balls, which really does surprise me because obviously, last year, Andy Dalton had one of the worst ranked deep balls in the NFL. Justin Fields, his deep accuracy doesn't really surprise me at all because he was one of the most accurate deep passers in all of college football. But Andy Dalton's deep ball also has been on point all of training camp. Okay, today he had a very nice 35-yard deep touchdown to Darnell Mooney, who beat DHC on the coverage. Okay, DeAndre Houston-Carson, the safety, he beat him on the coverage. Mooney was wide open, and he hit him deep for a very nice touchdown going down the field. So that was one of his best plays today. He also had another deep throw to Darnell Mooney, where Darnell Mooney had a slight step on Jalen Johnson, but it wasn't that much of a step, though. It was pretty tight coverage, but Andy Dalton still trusting Darnell Mooney. He threw the ball up away and to the outside where Jalen Johnson could not make a play on it, and he put the ball in position for Darnell Mooney to jump up and catch the ball over Jalen Johnson, which, first of all, obviously that's a great play by Darnell Mooney, going up there, grabbing the ball over Jalen Johnson, okay, one of the best young corners in the NFL. So great play by Mooney, but also a great ball by Andy Dalton, okay? He put the ball only where Darnell Mooney could catch it, and in a place where Johnson couldn't really make a play on the ball. So that was pretty good. Pretty good throw. He also had another crossing route to Darnell Mooney for, I think it was like 25 yards going down the field. So he was pretty much targeting Darnell Mooney like all day today, like he also did yesterday. So this connection from Dalton to Mooney, it's getting a lot better. I mean, I remember last week where Andy Dalton going down the field for Mooney, he missed him on quite a few occasions, okay? Even the practice that I went to where Darnell Mooney was wide open after he broke Jalen Johnson's ankles, like Dalton overthrew that ball to Mooney, but now, like recently, the ball has been on point, okay? His deep accuracy has actually been very, very impressive. So just a great day by Andy Dalton. I'm honestly impressed, man. I mean, the stuff that he's doing in camp right now, obviously it's with no pressure. It's with not a live defense where he can't really tackle. I mean, actually today they could tackle, but they obviously can't sack the quarterback, okay? They can't hit Andy Dalton. So take all of this with a grain of salt, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from Dalton. Next, we'll talk about rookie quarterback Justin Fields. And like I mentioned earlier, he also had a pretty impressive day, okay? Very accurate going down the field. So he had some crazy throws that I do want to mention today. One was a post route to John Vea Johnson for a deep touchdown where, Johnson got a very nice step on his, on his man, and he was open, down the field, and Fields recognized that, and he threw a beauty of a pass right in Johnson's hands. Okay, Johnson didn't have to extend for it, didn't have to come back for it. It was literally right in his hands, which I haven't seen that much of here in Chicago, in my life watching the Bears. So his deep ball, man, is just so beautiful. The velocity on that ball, placing it perfectly where it needs to be placed. So that was a very good ball. He also had another deep dime, which was a 40-yard pass to Chris Lacey in the right corner of the end zone, which was also on pretty tight coverage. Okay, so he had to fit that ball in there over the DB's head, but he did that. But unfortunately, Chris Lacey dropped that ball, which obviously Chris Lacey, guys, is probably not going to make the roster. So in the real games, that would probably be a ball to Darnell Mooney, and Darnell Mooney would catch that ball. But unfortunately, Fields is playing with the second team and some subpar talent, which you guys have to keep in mind, man. I mean, Fields is playing with receivers that most likely are not going to do anything in the NFL. Okay, John Vea Johnson, even though I like him, is he going to make the roster? Probably not. Chris Lacey, is he going to make the roster? Probably not. Javon Wims, is he going to make the roster? Maybe, but he also has a share of issues. So Fields, the ability to do all this with subpar talent around him, it's really special. I mean, he's actually making, these no-name receivers pretty much known, okay? He's giving great balls to them. He's giving them the chances to make plays. So I love that out of Justin Fields. I do want to mention, though, that he did go up against the first-team defense at one point in this practice, okay? It wasn't the entire practice, but at one point, I think it was on 7-on-7s, later on in the practice around I think 10:30ish, when practice was almost over, he was going up against the first team defense, even though he had the second team all around him, okay? So that was a challenge for any quarterback, okay? Playing with subpar talent around you, but going up against a pretty fearsome defense. And he handled that pretty well, guys, okay? The first play that he had against the first team defense, he had a sidearm throw. It was a touchdown to JP Holtz where he just got the ball off somehow using a crazy arm angle, and JP Holtz made a great catch, and that was a touchdown, okay, against the first team defense. So great play right there. The next play wasn't as good. He was intercepted on a shovel pass. ROQUAN Smith had the interception, which we'll talk about in detail a little bit later, but ROQUAN got to that ball before that play actually got off, so that was obviously not a good play by Fields. But you also couldn't fully blame him there because the O-line was horrible today, as they have been most of camp. So that was kind of a play that was doomed from the beginning. So, not a good play there. But right after that, guys, he rebounded by making a good read. I think he went to his third progression, found running back Khalil Herbert open, and then Khalil Herbert broke a tackle, which was a great play by him. Kept the chains moving and went in for the touchdown. So 2 touchdowns, guys, against the first team defense. Obviously, interception too, but that interception also was not fully Fields' fault. So although he did make mistakes today, he also had another interception later on in practice to Xavier Crawford, which also was kind of a miscommunication between the receiver and the quarterback because the receiver kept on running forward when Fields thought he was going to cut inside. So even that, I mean, you can't fully blame Fields, but I gotta say, man, I'm truly impressed by what Fields is doing in camp so far this year. Okay, he's not playing with the best players yet. He's only playing with, Chris Lacey, Javon Wims, John Vea Johnson, people that are probably not going to do much in the NFL. And he's also going up against, the first team defense and still playing pretty damn well. He's making crazy throws, sidearm, crazy deep accuracy. I mean, the future is very bright if you are a Chicago Bears fan, because I really do feel like, man, we have never had a quarterback prospect like this one. But enough talking about Justin Fields. I don't want to spend the entire video on one player, so let's move on. So the next topic I have then is what I talked about a little bit earlier, okay? The pass that ROQUAN Smith intercepted. Okay, ROQUAN Smith also had a phenomenal practice, but that play that he had, the pick six that he had on the shovel pass from Justin Fields, that was a beautiful play by ROQUAN Smith. Okay, he read that play from the very beginning, got in there, got into the backfield immediately using his crazy speed, his crazy athleticism, and just pretty much stole that ball away from Justin Fields. Okay, it was a very impressive play, which, guys, I truly do feel like ROQUAN Smith is primed for an all-pro first team season. He probably should have gone all-pro at least second team last year because he was pretty damn good last year as well. But this year, guys, there's something different about him. Okay, the energy about him. He seems like he's just a man on a mission this year, and he's just making these crazy plays in practice that a lot of linebackers in this league cannot do. So great day by ROQUAN Smith. Sticking on the linebackers though, the inside linebackers, I also want to talk about Alec Ogletree, our recent acquisition who I talked about yesterday, but I want to talk about him again today because he had 3 interceptions today in practice. Okay, 3 interceptions. He's only been here for 2 days. He already has 4 interceptions between yesterday and today. That is absolutely mind-boggling. Okay, I don't care what way you put it. Okay, already making an insane impact on this team. So today, the 2 interceptions that he had at first were on linebacker versus running back drills where he just snuffed the ball out pretty well on all of those drills. Okay, so he got his hands up, made a play on the ball, and twice intercepted the pass. So looked great on those drills, but then also on 11-on-11 drills, going up against Nick Foles, he intercepted Nick Foles yet again, okay, and I think it was in the end zone. So he's obviously lowering the trade value of Nick Foles because he's making Nick Foles look very bad by intercepting him on back-to-back days, so that kind of sucks. But jokes aside, man, I mean, I really feel like this guy could be getting playing time this upcoming season, which I did not think so at all when we first signed him, okay? I felt like he was going to be more of a camp body, but he's already flashing on back-to-back days. If he keeps this up, he could actually get some decent playing time. Let's talk about some bad news next. I'm talking about the offensive line, which I mentioned earlier. But guys, our offensive line is getting decimated by injuries. Okay, we had 2 more injuries come today. Before practice, we got news that Larry Borum, offensive tackle we drafted this year, he has a concussion, so he's going to be out for some time, unfortunately. And then also today in practice, Latavius Simmons, our second string backup tackle, he also got hurt in practice, which, guys, we are now down 5 offensive tackles. That is crazy, okay? Tevin Jenkins is out due to back tightness. We have, Jermaine Ifedi out due to an injury. We have Latavius Simmons out. We have Larry Borum out. We have Wilkinson, the guy that we got from the Broncos recently. So that's 5 offensive tackles out. We are down to pretty much nobody now. Okay, I think today Alex Bars was playing tackle because he had to. We had literally nobody else to play tackle. So this is kind of concerning, guys. I'm not going to lie. I kind of hope that Ryan Pace does sign an offensive tackle. Maybe a guy like Rick Wagner, maybe a guy like Russell Okung. Okay, guys with experience, because right now I don't know what we have, okay? And I don't want to throw Andy Dalton or Justin Fields out there if they have an offensive line this bad, okay? I don't want to see any injuries, obviously. So hopefully our offensive line does get healthier. But if not, I mean, Ryan Pace has to make a move because this is just ridiculous now, okay? How are you going to lose 5 offensive tackles? That is absolutely crazy. So bad injury luck, obviously. And then the last thing I want to talk about in today's video is Eagles head coach Doug Peterson randomly deciding to show up. Okay, obviously it probably wasn't random. Matt Nagy invited him to practice today, but it was kind of a surprise, guys. Okay, when I first got there, seeing Doug Peterson on the field next to Matt Nagy, I didn't really see what he was doing there, but it seemed like he was helping out with the plays. He had like a notebook in his hand, right? So he was helping run the drills pretty much. And what also surprised me was that he was wearing the Bears employee uniforms. Okay, the blue and orange uniforms, he was wearing them. So I kind of thought that, is he actually employed by the Bears now? So I kind of asked around, but nobody really knew the answer because he kind of just showed up out of nowhere today randomly. So I'm sure Matt Nagy will talk about that, why Doug Peterson was there. Maybe it's going to add Peterson to the staff. But as of now, it just seems like it was a visit. But if he does decide to add Doug Peterson to the staff, hey, I'd be down for that, guys. I mean, Doug Peterson is a Super Bowl winning head coach. Obviously, his time in Philly didn't end very well, but he is one of the smarter offensive minds in this country, okay, when it comes to football. So to add more football knowledge to your team, that's obviously going to be a good thing. So kind of a random story to talk about, but I thought I would talk about it because a high profile coach just showed up out of nowhere at the Bears practice. So that's pretty much going to wrap up my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed all the content. If you have any other comments, or questions, leave them down below in the comment section. I'll try to respond to as many as I can, but I'm out, guys. I'll be back with another video tomorrow. As always, bear down.